Be sure to check out my Patreon for weekly exclusive interviews, extra content on Veve and Omi, and building generational wealth, as well as money management tips from experienced whales. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another Veve and Ecomi video, and we're going to be going over one of the biggest catalysts, probably the biggest catalyst that we have had in a while. So this is where things could potentially change for Veve, and this is where it starts to get exciting, because now we're going to see the floors of a lot of things start to go up in value, because Veve is actually putting themselves in a position where new people, new whales, new big money can actually get into the platform without these restrictions. Like if you haven't noticed, on the app, you can only put like $600 in, and then there's a limit to how many times you can do that. There's a lot of limits and restrictions using the apps. So the fact that the web platform is coming, this is going to be major, and it's really going to impact the price of our collectibles. And they're saying that the web platform, I guess, could be out as early as next month. So that means that we could really see people ready to enter this platform as early as next month. Now that they're able, like more than likely, if they don't have the MTL done next month, if they don't have that done, we'll only see whales that's currently here probably willing to put in more money at a time. But at least at least they'll have that option if these whales want it. But really, then when cash out comes and whales are sure that they can get their money out, that's when the biggest part of this happens. But this is the initial phase of big money coming into the platform. So this is why this is such a massive announcement, and this is massive news. So yeah, I just wanted to point this out and let you all know that I'm super excited about this. I'm super bullish about this. And so far, I've heard quite a few things in this interview that makes me very bullish. So yeah, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and let's jump into it, man. Because yeah, this is exciting. A lot of exciting stuff going on.
Web platform, KYC, and everybody's favorite, payout. Where are we?
We are doing well. In fact, the web platform is already live in production. I think I've mentioned that on the last AMA. And then at the end of this week, we'll be inviting the first tranche of users into the platform. And if you are one of those users, you will actually get an email from us to let you know the URL and how you can access it. You're more than happy for you to share that URL around. However, keep in mind that there are only certain accounts that have been whitelisted. So if you're not on that list in the beginning, you will not be able to log into the web platform. And the whole idea around here is that, obviously we have a lot of users. The web platform is a very big, new, complex, front end offering. So we're basically going to be bringing users in trenches. And I believe the developers mentioned that every 3 to 5 days we'll be bringing in new trenches. Each trench will get bigger and bigger, assuming, we don't find any major issues.
And I will say that the chances of them finding some issues, like, and potentially major ones, it's going to increase with the more people that they let in, because the size of, like, the more people in somewhere, the more likely you are to find something wrong, because some people's minds just work in different ways. Like video games, when you find some of the bugs and some of the glitches and some of the things that you can abuse, like I used to play games where you can get out of the map and stuff like that. It's like my mind does not work in a way where I would have ever found any of this stuff. Like I used to play this one game where you had to walk across a building, jump in a tree, walk across invisible blocks, then you could jump over the fence outside of the map. And it's like, that's the type of stuff, like, how do you attempt to even find those invisible blocks right there? That's the type of stuff where your mind has to work different, or you have to have a lot of time on your hands to even find stuff like that. So all websites, like I keep that in mind, like all websites and stuff are similar to that, where some people are just going to think and approach this from a different angle. Like I tend to use things the way that they were intended to be used. There's a lot of people whose intent is to use things just to see what limits that they can push, or what they can kind of break, or what they can kind of figure out. And I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that either. I mean, you need a balance of all types of people, and those are the type of people that actually help push the platform forward, because then we can get the problems all knocked out. I mean, as long as they're reporting these things and stuff like that. But yeah,
and then aiming in May to basically have the web platform rolled out globally to all of our users.
See, so global rollout in May. That's massive. That's massive news, and that means that they shouldn't. They only plan to do like a couple of weeks of testing. So, I mean, this could be interesting. This could be really big. It sounds like May is going to be the start of, you know, the start of the rise. I think these are going to be the big enough catalyst it takes to turn around some of these collectibles, where they start actually getting like, so this, I feel like now is the last chance a lot of us are going to get to accumulate at these type of prices, because while things should be down because of the state of the world and all of this, things should not be down as much as they currently are, because people are devaluing these collectibles to a point where it's a joke, really. Like what you got to understand is, even if you don't have faith in the project, it doesn't matter. Like, the whales will understand the significance of what this stuff is. They'll come up, buy everything, and then you'll be stuck like with nothing. Like you'll be stuck looking crazy because you didn't believe, you didn't take advantage of your early opportunity. So, I mean, not financial advice, but this is why those of us who are actually aware, we've been here, we've done this, we're collecting, we're stacking, because this opportunity won't last forever. We were sitting around here when Todd's was $60. We were sitting around here when Marvel Comics #1 was $2. And we sat around and watched this stuff. No way we make them same mistakes. Now, if you want to sit here and listen to a bunch of OGs tell you exactly what happened before, and you still don't want to take action on that, everybody's just not the type of person to take action to change your life. Some of us are, like, and if you have to miss out on this to learn a lifelong lesson, that this just might have to be your L, even though I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, I took L's on stuff that's a little bit more speculative, like Netflix. Like, I took a L on Netflix initially because I wasn't sure. Like, how you could not be sure about this platform, it's just like, it's mind blowing to me. But I mean, people got to learn the hard way, man.
Perfect. And in this kind of rollout, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, I think I mentioned last time as well that the web platform is just so much easier to use. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the app. I love waking up before I go to bed, check Veve through the app, but you know, the web platform is just, I think users are really going to enjoy the experience on that.
Great. And at the time of the rollout to each of these different trenches, as you put it, will the full suite of features be available? So, you know, gem purchases, showrooms, advanced filtering, etc.
We have most of the features are in place. I think the feed is still going through development at the moment, right. So that might be coming out with a coming soon message. And then the showrooms, etc., will be available. Still working on a few updates. You know, really our main priority was just to make sure we get the web platform out with all the major functionality in place, and then we'll more than likely go through a number of iterations with the showrooms. And in terms of the advanced filtering, I mean, we are offering a range of filters based on each page. I'm not going to say that it's considerably more advanced than what we're using now, but you can do things like very easily filter by brand, filter by rarity, you know, whether it's drop date or et cetera. So, but like I say, you know, overall the web platform is it's just a lot easier to use because of the larger format.
And then just quickly, I don't mean to harp on it, but the advanced filtering, and you know, that is another thing that is going to be iterative, right? So there'll be phases in which we roll out, you know, different ways to sort, and obviously search is being worked on across the board, and that may enable things for, will it enable things rather like searching for a specific mint number, for example.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, like when it comes to development. Our backlog of issues is obviously massive, but you know, we need to prioritize things like, hey, you know, let's get the web platform out.
What you got to understand is development is not as easy as people try to make it seem. I was my very first job fresh out of high school, and that was back in the day when technology isn't what it wasn't what it is today. I worked for a health website, and you would think that the health website would be something basic, something simple, and you would think that it wasn't a lot behind it. But I was a junior developer. I dropped out and got hired straight downtown because obviously I was experienced. I've been programmed since I was 7. So that job, I literally had to, like, they literally had a list of like 1,000+ bugs, and it was my job to come in every day, pick task, and knock out as much of that list as I possibly could. And it was like 1,000, and then they were adding more every single day. So I'm having to fix stuff and then continue to, like, I having to fix stuff while stuff continues to get added. It's like I'll come in and work every day, and that list doesn't move or go anywhere because that's just how much stuff needed to be done. That, like, making a healthcare website was not as complex as trying to combine crypto, NFTs, and like trying to build metaverses. Like, it was nowhere near that complex. So I can only imagine their backlog of things that they have to get done. And the complexity of the things that they're doing it's mind-blowing because a lot of the stuff that they're doing has never been done before. So, and then some things they already have done, they have to now redo it because when they started, there was no other third parties and things like that. Whereas now they actually have third parties that they can pull on, and there's new standards that they can kind of, you know, fix things now so they don't have to do it again in the future. So there's so many different layers to this, man. It's so many different layers. So I just want people to actually understand what it takes to accomplish some of this stuff, because people think that, oh, adding a search bar, like that should take a few days, maybe a week max. It's like, no. It's like, it's not that simple. That's an algorithm. And then you have to make sure when somebody types something into that algorithm, what they're most likely to need is like YouTube and Google. Why do you think they're so successful? Their algorithm is insane. You type something in and you get the content you're looking for. Like, you got so many different types of Spider-Mans. Like, what if you were to type in a comic book and then you type in a mint number and it takes you to that comic? Or what if you try to type in a specific comic like Amazing Spider-Man 1 and it shows you mint, like just mint 1, for example, like something like that. You type in Amazing Spider-Man 252, and instead of showing you the mint, it shows you the comic in general. It's like, you don't want the wrong things to be popping up, and that stuff like that, it can be complicated, especially depending on how it's programmed in the back. So yeah.
Before we start focusing on advanced filters and that kind of thing. So
yeah, of course.
You know, anyone that was an OG from back in January last year knows the app has changed significantly and improved in many different areas, and we of course will always continue to do that.
Great. So with the web platform obviously rolling out first, that is necessary for the rollout of overall KYC and eventually payout. How are we looking on both of those points?
Good. So we've got all of our partners are in place. The development has been kicked off. You know, all the front end, the UI is basically there and ready to go. So just really is just a matter of going through the development process on that side of things. We're feeling very comfortable on the compliance now. And then the KYC obviously links it all in directly into payout as well. And I just want our fans to understand that, you know, we know that this is a feature that is highly sought after and in high demand. And we're absolutely not resting on our laurels. It's one of our, you know, priority one projects to get out there at the moment. And it's, you know, we want to make sure that we roll it out with a solid solution that's going to work for all of our users, you know, not just people in specific regions. And, you know, that's something that we're really focusing on. So still feeling confident on the timeline there. And I guess,
yeah, because that causes more problems. If they start rolling it out for some people and not others, then if values of things start dropping, you're going to have people complaining, oh, I didn't have a chance to get out. You let this country all cash out first. Now we're stuck holding because, like, and it just goes down. Like, that's what everybody was doing before. Like, oh, everybody in America is the only one securing drops and stuff like that, when K never misses a drop, ironically. But everybody was targeting the people in America because, like, people was vocal about what they were getting. It's like, and the Americans are the ones who knew all the tips and stuff. People didn't know at that time. They didn't know everything. So yeah, it's just the people's first instinct is just to blame everything on, like, somebody having a better chance than them. So yeah, it's like, it's not, why even take that risk?
so give you an update on the next AMA.
All right, y'all. So there we have it, man. We're going to end the video right there. This was a lot of the super important stuff. I think that this is a ton of bullish information here. I'm super excited for this. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more things that I probably want to touch on and talk about a little bit more. But yeah, like, let me know what you all think about all this coming up soon. And yeah, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And I will catch you all on the next one, man. Peace out, y'all.